Talking Buffalo Bills. It struck me, it's funny, Jenna was in this Kevin's seat last week. In her closing commentary was how she felt that the Buffalo Bills would miss the playoffs next year, largely due to a tough schedule, and makes a lot of good points, which contrasted with something I said at the end of a show several weeks earlier, where I think Buffalo has passed New England as the team to beat in the AFC East. That gives them a clear path.
I don't agree with Jenna that the Bills will definitely miss the playoffs next season, but I also don't agree with you that the Bills are definitely the favorite in the AFC East. Listen, we don't know what Brady's doing right now. I'm still convinced that there's a one-year deal, and it's going to be year by year until they figure it out.
How about if he stays, they're not any better than the Bills?
I still think they beat them twice this season. I mean, the Bills still
last time, though, was...
Oh, but both of them were, though. I mean, they both had the ball driving in the fourth quarter the first time with the backup
but give
quarterback.
Josh another year of experience and an off-season to refine and study, and I don't know. I'm not...
Well, so
I think Brady's old. I mean, he is old.
Well, no, he is old. He's old.
I think he's finally looking old.
Well, so Belichick's a great, in-game coach, but the front office of the Bills has been outperforming New England's. They get better draft picks. They've been drafting better. They're on an upward trajectory. New England is clearly on a downward one.
They have money to
so
spend.
little to separate them. Yep, the good salary cap situation. I think they're the team to beat.
I love everything you're saying right now, but you're putting a lot of faith in, one, Josh Allen being able to take another step forward. There's no guarantee in that. You want to talk about in-game coaching. I mean, Sean McDermott, that's not his strongest suit. And three, yes, you have the money. Can you hit on the guys that you need? It's not the best players.
And Allen needs a target. Like, he needs that big target, the go-to guy, the guy who gets separation, the guy who he can throw and is going to go up and get it. So... can they find that guy?
And New England needs it too. I hear that just about every team out there, everyone's looking for a big receiver now.
Which is great because it's loaded in the draft this year, but let's look at the one weakness the Bills front office and coaching staff has shown. It's finding that wide receiver. They did great with what they got this season. John Brown and Cole Beasley overperformed, but Kelvin Benjamin, you gave up assets to get him. That was a disaster. Zay Jones, a second-round pick in McDermott's first draft. That was a disaster. Neither of them are on the roster anymore, and I do believe that the Kelvin Benjamin disaster is what kept the Bills from going and getting someone again at the trade deadline for Allen to throw to. You need to be able to overcome those two huge misses because, let's be real, if those worked out, the Bills are a legitimate championship contender last season.
You say that because you think they were gun shy?
Yes, I do. I mean, look, Bean took a lot of criticism, rightfully so, but in his first year ever as a general manager, if you go out and swing again and you throw more assets at a guy that has term on his contract and you miss for a second time, that's borderline, hey, are you doing your job the right way kind of stuff.
I think it was more like they weren't really taking themselves seriously at that point in the season. When the trade deadline came, I'm not sure they understood exactly what they had. I don't think until they won that game in Dallas that they went, oh my God, we could actually do something here.
They made a trade this season with Benjamin when they were, at 500 on their way to sneaking into the playoffs?
Well, that's going to be a combination of being gun shy, but at the same time, if the Dallas game had been played before the trade deadline, I think Buffalo would have done something.
I disagree with that 100%. I think that it's the fear of failure when things were going in the right direction. And I think that if you didn't have that failure,
did they just stick with, I hate to say it, but since that's their term, the process of we have these draft picks. Let's not disrupt now. Let's continue to build. Yes, we're having a good year. We had bigger plans than just make the playoffs this year.
Okay.
And I don't think they thought they were going to contend they weren't going to beat the Chiefs. So
I disagree with that statement also, but let's go with the process idea. In the first year of the process, you upset the process with Kelvin Benjamin. You know what the process is? The process is if it worked, that was the process. We all know that, right? Like, there is no process. There's not like a chart with things that they're trying to do.
There might be.
There is no chart.
Just like a boardroom, they got this chart, and here's how.
I agree. I think that might exist.
Get the hell out. For as non-media savvy as McDermott seems, he is brilliant in selling this idea that he constantly, every move he makes,
plus, if you say
is on
it,
purpose.
it's just everybody's saying it now. And businesses say it.
Yes.
People say it, and they're starting to say it about how they're raising their dog. It's a process.
It's completely open to interpretation. It's like spirituality in religion. I'm spiritual. Well, okay, that person must be a good person. I'm trusting the process. I know what I'm doing.
Spirituality and religion, raising your dog. Good point to
Only
stop.
on the press box.